Salam, Phenix, Ramadan, LJacksun, back in the light of Brazeera Cyber Network. Well, today we're here to discuss. Our topic is education, the high cost of education, and its alternative, public education. Okay, so we'll get right to it. Okay, now, so we hold these truths to be self-evident. If you disassociate anything from its nature, then one better be well prepared to nurture or be prepared to for its nature to rise, okay, to re-rise. Now, what causes many to grieve when it comes to commercial education is the placebo effect it has on some. It misleads people, such as myself, when I was, young, very young, to believe that with such education, one will be, actually developing themselves into their inherent self. So it's almost as like, the person who goes and seeks formal education becomes, his profession identifies him. So if you come across a doctor, you automatically think he kind of like, well, he was destined to be that, and one doesn't really, especially when they're young, make that connection of what they're doing, when going to school and what they're going to school for. Like I said, especially when they're young, they just get up and think it's something they do, it's natural, not even understanding the connection for career training, yeah, it's reading and writing, it's basic education, to do other things, to function in society. However, the fundamental purpose of basic education is to seek higher education, but no one tells them that, again, the fundamental purpose for reading and writing is for higher education, or for job training, ultimate higher education to seek job training, or professional careers. Okay, but that's difficult for a little itty bitty child to make that connection, even from as high as all the way to, let's say, the high school levels. So anyway, so now, okay, so that's when they think they're gonna become themselves. They're gonna, become the, when they see the person, doing that profession, let's say the doctor doing that profession in society, it's like, it's so beyond them to imagine themselves doing that, because especially if they're not being able to, really connect, because it's not grasping the material, it's connecting with it in a manner in which, the person can translate the information that he's being given or introduced to, so, and especially if there's no purpose, there's no motivation, okay, unless they find something that is fun, regardless of what it is, or regardless how strenuous it is, how taxing it is, how much effort they're going to have to put into it. It doesn't matter if they, they love it. Anyway, so okay, so I said about they think it's, they don't understand that it's difficult to connect that, with well, you imagine that's with such education you're going to become yourself, so you can be yourself in the education, in the academic environment, but we'll see if that's the case. Anyway, now, when in reality it is education, career training, or professional career training, okay, to become something in society, okay? Now, or someone to be recognized in society, okay, among society. Now, one is to be schooled to fill a position, okay, in society, a position in the matrix, okay. Now, um, now, a system of economics by one is connected to the society by their mother's maiden name. So therefore, the matrix members, the mother's maiden name. Okay. A system of what numbers built upon the mother's maiden name. Okay. So anyway, now so it says now. Okay. So now. Oh, okay. So it's a system by which one will be tracked by their mother's maiden name. Okay, all going all the way back to the black one, the black mother. Okay, okay. So, and that's what the Social Security card represents. Okay, your birth certificate as it represents the mother's maiden name. Okay, because as some say, it's okay, it's mama's baby, daddy's maybe. So therefore, the mother is it's definitely connected to the mother. So that's a definite, that's a certain. Can't get here without the mother. Okay. Now we can't get this far without the mother. Okay. Okay. So now okay. Now, okay. Okay, the problem with commercial education, most children become young. Okay, yeah. The problem with commercial education is most children become young adults, often after they enter college. See what I'm saying? So they're still like 19 and 20, 18, 17. 16, well, the most is, which is rare, 16, of course, but that's not impossible. But like 17 and 18, that they're young, they're late teens, their last teenage years, they enter, college. And from that, they're supposed to pick a career that they are to endure for, the rest of their lives, until they retire. We're going to do a program on retirement and marriage next and see where that goes. Okay, that trail leads us. That ambiguous trail leads us. Okay? Okay, so they enter college early, before they're adults, really having experienced any life, away from the protected environment of, parents, who work very hard to get them to where they are. Okay, very, very hard. Okay, non-stop. Now, so they become young adults, in college, after 21, and the profession they select generally is selected not based upon their inherent integrity, but marketable value. The job train. Okay, they choose their job training. Okay, like I said, i.e. the job market. Thus, I am. What am I saying? Okay. Thus, addressing that I am, what who I am, rather than the what I am. Okay. Now, that's the commercial value of what they are, and the who what is only the name based upon the birth. So, commercial education causes one to lose their inherent identity or their inherent integrity and adopt a false sense of identity, and displacing the true what I am, the true integrity, to take on a marketable status, a marketable identity, okay, a marketable character, okay, a trade name. Okay, I hope I explained that. Okay, now, And we're going to see where we're going with that. Yeah. I like my gloves. They're so cute. And I'm not going to take them off to turn the page. But I will turn the page. Okay, let me try to turn the page. Okay, now, okay, what else are we going to talk about? What is that? Okay. Oh, something funny about public education. Okay, what is this? Okay. Anyway, so what are we going to go to? Okay, so I say commercial. Commercial education is about. No, okay. The who I am is only about the name, the birth name. Okay, as it relates to commerce. Okay, so okay. Okay. Commerce is aiding and abetting one in this manner, okay, of identity displacement. Okay. Now, character displacement, integrity displacement, through the marketable value. Okay. Okay. A sense of self. So they're aiding and abetting in this manner, although it cannot, I cannot give insight. It cannot give insight, or this commercial education cannot give insight as to the identity of the inherent self. Okay. Okay. Or the nature of the being, the person. To discover this aspect of the true self causes one to know what they are. If they take that natural course, okay, they were to understand the what they are, their true integrity, okay, then they would understand, because knowing what one is will automatically know who they are, okay. Yeah. Okay? Anyway. Now, giving rise to the saying, to know thyself. Okay? One must know what they are, their integrity. Okay? Based upon their, what do you say? Their purpose, define their purpose, their intention, their integrity, their incline, their propensity, the direction in life. Okay? So, now, so I think, what I see is there needs to be a school of the school. Wait. Okay. No, I don't like what I wrote, but I'm gonna go on. I really am, because I don't feel like redoing this video. Okay, so we're just gonna have to get through together, and I'm not gonna edit and none of that, because that's a time consuming, and I don't like that. Okay, now, anyway, so I hope I can anyway. Okay, anyway, so okay, so as I said, there needs to be a new school of education, one that addresses the soul, the nature of being, especially as it relates to children, because most are released into the educational system, into the custodialship of the commercial. The secular world of academia, from their spiritual acclimated environment. When they enter this brave new world, looking for validation and their anchor, which is their spirituality, their God, okay, to whom they believe, and they don't see him there. They don't see him in the market. They don't see him in academia. They don't see him nowhere. So it's like entering a bubble into an alien world that is, foreign to them. And then they have to, no mommy, no daddy, no siblings, yes. And of course, mommy and daddy enter to pick them up from school and things like this. But nonetheless, their home environment, well, no, not even their home environment, but their social, no, their macro environment. No, not their macro. Their micro environment. Their home environment, where they learn to connect to the world or relate to the world through their spiritual teachings. you know. And one can't just say, okay, well, their spiritual teachings are, minute as it relates to the bigger environment, but that's just not true, because if we live, let's say, we live in America, and many children who live in other parts of the world, though their spirituality is practiced in their home or in their mosque or in their church, that's still part of, the global environment. So to isolate them into a bubble world of education where God doesn't exist until, let's say, they get into college and they start studying philosophies and and theologies and things like this, and psychology too, then they will begin to kind of find a trail that leads back to home, to the teachings of home, So to take that big part of their life, which they say from 0 to 5 is the most formative years. So take that big chunk of formation, their foundation, away from them in this bubble, and then just, just to, basically indoctrinate the children with a new set of, a new programming, one that adapts to the commercial world, which is a commercial education, commercial values, commercial practices, commercial principles, commercial ethics, commercial integrity. And, so, and they come from a world where the world is bigger than, the world of commerce. They're coming from where the world is, a greater history, because we're talking about spirituality, and of course that goes through the ages. So really what they have coming into the secular world of education, they have a greater foundation of knowledge, especially when it comes to the humanities, and to take that away from them and just basically make them foundationless like the dollar, and basically make them become the dollar, and we'll see why and how, then I see we're doing them a great disservice, rather than build on the foundation they have. They are disassociated from their background, and perhaps many times their direction in life, because they, based upon their home environment, they generally, mom and dad, or mom or dad will generally ask them, upon teaching them the back, their religion, they teach them, they give them a sense of duty, purpose. And so based upon that, papers, many little children, I want to be a fireman, I want to be a doctor, I want to be a lawyer. And now it's about holding them accountable to that contract that they've made with themselves and their spirituality. But when they get in there to the secular world of competition, and there's no foundation that they recognize, coming in at 4 now, and even preschool, then it kind of loses they kind of get shuffled and wrong. Their intent kind of gets, their ambition for, for their own purpose kind of gets lost, because a child knows what he likes, just like they can tell the difference between salt and sugar, hot and cold. He knows what he likes, what feels good to him when he hears something, so he would automatically associate with what he likes. What do we say? The pleasure principle. Okay. That's what I see one of the biggest problems with the commercial education. Only one of the biggest problems, but we will continue. Okay, so we said, okay, we need one that addresses that, especially as it relates to children. Okay, because when the children are released into the custodianship of the school system, okay, that's commercial school system, secular school system, there's nothing for them to attach their formative years of beliefs. Is that what I want to say? Their direction. No, that's not what I want to say. what do I want to say? Okay. When their purpose, it removes them from their purpose as it relates to their homeschooling. Yeah, exactly that. Their homeschooling. Okay, that's what it disconnects them from, and ultimately disconnects them from home, and ultimately disconnects them from mom, our dad, or sisters and brothers. Okay, so it doesn't really hold the family together. Okay, the secular, the commercial education, as it relates to the natural education, as it relates to, spirituality. Okay, spirituality, because Christianity is a school of spirituality, Islam is a school of spirituality, Judaism is a school of theology, and those all have principles that oh gosh, so much knowledge that covers, as we said, the universe. That's the real university, So the children learn, about like there's just so much that they learn in their homeschool environment when it comes to, studying their religion. Okay, but I'm not saying that they should, that should be the only thing they learn. No, I'm just saying that that's the foundation, because even just religion alone is not enough. It's not enough when one doesn't understand it. See what I'm saying? School is kind of like backwards, okay? Religion, I'm saying in the order I think is proper. And then I can say it backwards. But religion, then science, then education. You know what I'm saying? Because they have to understand even religion, because in religion, when you understand religion as it relates to the books we said, and other religions, as we can go back and, to the previous videos, and then you can see, as we talked about, the science in religion or in spirituality. Okay, so the science is important as it relates to understanding religion, okay, or spirituality. And then education is very important as commercial education. That's where it can come in regards to connecting and interpreting the science for the young child. Then you have the connection. There needs to be a middle ground to fill the gap. Okay, and especially with the fast-paced society that we have today, whereby, there's so much ground to cover and not enough foundation, not enough support to get to from one consciousness to the other, or one perspective of life to the other. Okay. So, and especially for children, come on, we're asking a lot. They really got to understand faith, yeah, and to be loved by the parents in order to make that big leap of faith. But then to make the leap of faith, to believe it, but then to believe it enough to hold on to the belief until they understand it. You see what I'm saying? But that has to be, of course, gradual and straight across with the middle ground, because everything has to be taught in one. It's not about, anyway, I'll continue reading. Okay, so now okay, we talked about, okay, let me see, okay, yeah, okay, now, okay, so we said, okay, now, so they need a transition. Okay, a transition point to get them from their spiritual background, because most children, especially when I was growing up, there was taught, spiritual teachings in the home, and especially around the holidays, so we grew up with the foundation of spirituality. So what I'm trying to say is, we can't dismiss the children of today and think that just because life is so fast-paced and mom works and dad this, that they don't tell them of that, in their fast-paced life on the way driving to school, to remember to thank God for the food, or for the food that they're eating in the car, the breakfast that they're eating in the car on the run, you know, or get out the car and say, have a great day, God bless you, or when they sneeze, bless you, and remind them of God in the process of living their life very, very rapid pace. So they're still taught about the you know, about spiritual. They're still taught spirituality, but it's just about in order to apply it, they got to understand it. They need that connection. Okay, and you can't get that in. Well, they don't give that in. There's no middle ground. There's only a line, you know, between commercial education, secular education, and religion, you know, and to study just spirituality, you know, such as, you know, well, to study spirituality, you know, in order to understand the language of spirituality, you know, then there needs to be that middle ground. Okay, so we're going to pause right here.